All right, welcome guys. Thank you so much for getting on this Zoom. We have all of our diamonds and above, plus some up and coming rock stars. They got an invitation to come here, and so we're super excited because I get to bring my dear friend Jade Hooper on. She's been a top 10 money earner for some time now. She was a huge inspiration to me. A couple years ago is when I first started watching some of her videos, and it was the first time I, as a leader, was going through a funk, and I was starting to really doubt myself and feel like I wasn't worthy, and I just didn't have any direction where I wanted to go with my business. And I was an ambassador diamond, and that's something that I want you guys to all to understand, that we all go through funks at different levels in our business. And I remember Chad told me, like, you got to watch this video, and it was Jade Hooper, and I watched it, and I couldn't stop watching her YouTube channel. I was bawling, because she gave me this fresh new hope, like a new way to build that would take the place of building the way I built before. Because see, you guys, I put all my eggs in one basket. I built all the way to presidential diamond and even to ambassador by using a business page on Facebook. And then eventually Facebook started changing, which then I had to learn and adapt, but I felt so lost because I built one way only. And so when I ran across Jade's videos, I literally was able to begin to start messaging people, and she gave me fresh new perspective and ideas, and I'm so excited to get to share her with you guys. And so without further ado, Jade, come on, girl.
Hello. Hi guys. So excited for the people who aren't diamond who are on this, because that's a big deal. That's super exciting. So do you guys have questions? How do you want to start? Do you guys have questions?
So let's start off by, can you just tell them a little bit about your story, like how you got into It Works and how long you've been in?
Yep. So I started in August of 2013. So this is going on 4 years. And I can promise you guys that, you know, I sold makeup and jewelry before. And I remember being at the jewelry party, and this woman was standing up there, and she was in her 40s, but she was talking about, you know, how she was doing these parties and all these things. And she had been doing it for 3 years, I think. I was like, people really do this for like a long time. Like, people really do these kind of things for like a while. This is so weird. And I remember when I started It Works, I guess I just never saw an end point. But and then at that point, when I was with jewelry, I did see an end point. Like, it was like a 3-month thing to me. So I think a lot of it, your success, you really can't put a timeline on your success. And I think so many people do that, that we get started and then we think, I'm just going to give it 3 months and we'll see. I was just so broke, and we were just having so many financial issues. And I knew that from a young age, you know, it was just my mom and I since I was 7, and she worked 3 jobs. She had me when she was 18. I haven't seen my dad since I was 7. So it was just me and her. And I was aware that like being broke was like a long-term thing. So when I got started with It Works, and I found myself in that broke position when I was with my own family, that I realized that I wasn't looking for just a 3-month thing, because our bills aren't just 3 months. And that's why I knew that I wasn't going to put a timeline on this business. So I got started in 2013. It was August. My son had just turned a year old. And I just spent the last year working 36 hours just on the weekend, fighting with Will about bills. You know, not being able to go to my grandma's house 7 minutes down the road because I only had like, what's a half of a quarter? I had the half of a quarter tank of gas, whatever that is. Chad's probably like, because, you know, he's just a smart kind of guy.
Hey, she's the genius now.
I was going to say, or maybe it's Jeree. Okay. But whatever. And oops, sorry. I just hit you in the head. You okay? You gonna cry? Okay, she's good. And it was, you know, I mean, I couldn't even go to my grandma's house. I was selling things like in my house. We sold our end tables. We sold our coffee table. I sold pictures that I had begged Will for me to buy. He thought they were so ugly, and I sold them, which killed me, because it's like I worked so hard to get these pictures because he didn't like them, and I had to go and sell them. I was doing everything. Couponing. We had no TV. We had no cable. You know, we couldn't even turn our heat on. I mean, I just spent a year doing that. And Levi turned 1. And I don't know about you guys, but I see some of you guys have babies. I don't know if it's your first one. But for myself, when you have a baby and it's their first birthday, for me, that night I put him to bed and I just stare at him And I just cry, and you go and pick up their old outfits when they're like this big, and you're like, how did you go from this big to this big? And you kind of like you reflect on your life, their life. And I said, how am I here? You know, I worked so like from forever. It was just my mom and I. I mean, my friends had to give me their hand-me-down clothes. My grandparents paid for my like food at home. I tried so hard not to live that life. I went to school. I became a salon manager. I did everything I thought I could possibly do to be independent and like take control of my life. And here I am with this 1-year-old little boy. We're in a house with no heat. How did I end up here? And that was the point where I just was like, all right, God, bring it. Like, bring whatever it is. I'm ready. Bring it to me, you know? And I took 3 weeks and I searched for something that I could do from home. And there was, I looked through every company. They're all the same. Makeup, jewelry, pots and pans, purses, clothes. You can sell beef jerky if you didn't know that. If anybody wants to get into the beef jerky business, just so you know, it's an option. And they were all the same. And then it works just kind of came upon me. So when I got started, I did the same thing everybody else does. I pressed submit, and then I started pacing up and down my hallway going, what did I do? What did I do? I was freaking out, you know? And movies. Hold on. I'm just trying to keep it a little PG here for a second. If you're on my Diamond and Above calls, like I'm pretty sure my nipple says hello a couple times. It's fine. Okay. There we go. So for Chad's sake, I'll try to keep the girls away. All right. So, you know, I just got started. I saw that diamond. Better. Here we go. I saw that diamond chart and I looked at it and I was like, how in the heck am I supposed to do that? But instead I set that to the side and I just went full force, like looking for one person. You know, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And we always said, it starts with one. It starts with one. I mean, I really think that that's like the best thing that we ever started when they said it starts with one, because it really does. And I just hopped in and, you know, I got into the 400 club my first week, which whatever. I just messaged everybody. I mean, I was just ignorance on fire. But then after that, it was crickets. And I had 2 months of crickets. And I was on a call and I heard Pam for the first time. And she was like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. You guys need to watch The Secret. It's all about, you know, what you put out there. And so I was like, all right, this woman tells me to watch The Secret. I'm going to watch it. And I watched it and I thought it was so stupid. The guy's like, oh, you should envision your hands on a steering wheel in your dream car. And I'm like, is this really like what I'm like really watching this right now? This is so dumb. But I woke up the next day with like, I was like, that was not dumb. And so I did what they said to do. I took pieces of paper. Will like would come home, go to work and come home. And I think he thought I joined a cult because he came home. And what movie is it where it's got the guy, I don't even know his name. I can't pretend I know. But anyways, Beautiful Mind, I think it was like that, okay, where I had just taken pieces of paper and I wrote like craziness all over them, like more money coming in, and like the ranks I was going to hit in the months. And I had them plastered. My whole entire kitchen from ceiling to floor was covered in these crazy papers. And he'd come home and I'd be listening to like Katy Perry jamming out like I'm 14 and just like feeling it. And he thought I was nuts. But I'm going to tell you something. Those are the things that I did to put out into the world what I was going to get. And I mean, I got away from that and I have gotten back to that. My prayer has been to be back to where I was when I first started. Like everybody else wants a 2015. Jade's calling for a 2014. Like I want 2014 all day, every day. Okay. And it's because I started as a Ruby in 2014, January, and I ended as a presidential diamond in 2014. That's the kind of year I want. Okay. It's like Jade starts as ambassador in 2017. And then Jade ends the year at like quadruple black diamond. That's the kind of year that I want. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, I want to share this with you guys about that. You know, have you guys been here? Have you been around the block for a while? Like everybody's kind of had a 2016. We all went through that. All right. I'm like, I keep it totally real with my team. And that's why we've been able to get through it with grace, very, very gracefully. And every time something amazing is about to happen in your business, right before you're about to come to a breakthrough, your brain is going to freak out. And you can say it's the devil, you can say it's your past, you can say whatever, but there's something that's going to try to like just grab a hold of you with its teeth before you're about to have something really amazing happen in your life. But you have to just get past that. So the past few weeks, I keep waking up in the middle of the night and I start panicking and freaking out, just like I did when I was brand new. And I start praying like a psycho person, and I keep saying my mantras like a psycho person. But you guys, these ideas and whatever you believe in, I don't care who you believe in, like whatever your religion is, that's fine for me. It's God, super. So I hear things. You might call that crazy. I call it a magic 8-ball in my brain. It's amazing. So but I'm hearing these things, and I was on a diamonds call with my diamonds, and right in the middle of what I was talking, this idea popped into my brain, and it wasn't me. I'm not like hearing voices. I don't want to make you guys think it's crazy. I liked her before, but now she's nuts. I'm not, I promise. And I knew it was the right time. I knew that I just know without any doubt that this year is going to be amazing. And I kind of have been saying my mantras and just speaking these things out into existence that I've been praying for ignorance and fire again. I want to know nothing at all and just be just nothing. I want to be like Levi when he jumps off of our kitchen table and I'm like, don't jump, you're going to hurt yourself. And he jumps anyways and he doesn't hurt himself. I want to be that again. That's where I want to be. And part of that is with The Secret and the law of attraction and putting these words out there and realizing that God's going to, like, if you ask for it, he'll give it to you. And we have to become better askers. And I've wanted that. And so yesterday just happened. Before I left to get Levi, I kept saying, I want more money coming in. I want more money coming in. I want more money coming in. I'm not even joking you. I went and got the mail after I picked him up. This was literally like 15 minutes because Levi's school's down the road. I opened up the mailbox and we had a check for $6,000. Now, I'm not saying like expect that. It can happen in the form of $3.12. That's happened to me before too, but I'm telling you, you have absolutely no idea. You are setting yourself up. Whatever you say right now, even through the bad stuff, God kind of asks you, like, how bad do you want this? Like, you're going to go through some muck in the yuck. Like, how bad do you want this? I'm going to give you your options. How bad do you want this? You're going to go through the rain. Do you really want this? Like, I'm going to make you work for it because it's also going to give you skills. So when you do get there, you're going to be really, really good at this. How bad do you want it? You know, so this is a good year. This is like the 2013 to what's going to happen next year. I can't even explain it to you. I'm so excited.
So good. So a couple questions, and this is kind of like 2 in 1, I guess. So, such a huge part of the business is building rubies. Always build rubies, build rubies, build rubies. So when you have a brand new person, Jade, that signs up, what do you give them to do? What activities do you tell them to do, first of all? And then how do you build rubies?
I think there's two. I don't know. I think that like the real question, I think as leaders, what we strive for, it's like what's the meaning of life? I think this is what it is for us in this business. How do you get a new distributor started? It's like, what's the real way to really get someone started to help them be successful? And I've done it 105 ways. But I actually had to come to some realizations. So I flew to Ambassador, amazing paychecks that got me I was never just in the top 100. I went to the top 10, right? And I felt like I knew too much for my own good. So I went Ambassador and I became a brat. I was like, I'm not going to build anyone. I'm going to wait for who wants it. I hate the saying, I'm not going to chase glitter. I'm going to chase diamonds. I hate that because you know what? I started as glitter. Like, oh my gosh, I was glitter for like a long time, and I think I'm okay. So I had to realize, like, how long did it take me to get customers? How long did it take me to get distributors? So why the heck am I so irritated when someone didn't just come out of the birth canal, a rap star, slinging blitz cards left and right? That's just not how it works. So I came to a lot of realizations, and I said, what if I was just extremely accepting of the fact that it takes someone a month or two to get to 400? What if I was just accepting of the fact that it takes the normal human being 2, 3, 4 months, maybe even, to enroll their first customer or first distributors? That was me. And I still got to diamond in 5 months. As long as I'm teaching them the skills, I want to stop like handing people things, and I want to actually like be patient enough to take the time to help them. So I've completely changed how I've been getting my new distributors started, and it's been like completely phenomenal. I get someone started, I get them added to our team page. I give them an outline of how to make their first post. I used to give them their first post, but then I learned, why don't I just teach them how to write their own life posts? So I said, I want you to make a post that says who you are, where you live, what your family situation is like, what are some of the dreams you want to have, and I don't know, like where, you know, why are you excited about what you're doing right now? And just make this post up and post it with a picture of you. As soon as they do that, they come back to me and it's game on. Right from then, we're messaging people. I'm going to give you this message to send out. You're going to send it to everybody. I'm not talking 5. I'm not talking 20. I'm talking like however many people you can until you need to go to bed tonight. Okay. You're going to send this message out, and every single person that responds, you're going to screenshot me the conversation and send it to me, and I'm going to walk you through it. And what's happened is I have a gift with words, not because I have a gift with words, but it's because I've been doing this for a long time and I know how to talk to people to seal the deal. They don't. So what happens is after about a week or 2 of us going through these conversations and they see how I'm responding and sealing the deal, they just pick it up. And so what happens is they are getting their first 4 customers, like all of them, most like a way higher percentage than the other people when I wasn't doing this. They're getting their 4 loyal customers. And I'm not saying a single thing about distributors. I'm not saying a single thing, because growing your team is extremely intimidating. And I understand that. So I want them to focus on those customers. And basically just from being in our team page, and I introduce them. I don't tag them in a single thing. I don't say, go watch these leaders. I let them just be. I let them just be in the team page, and through who is posting inspiring things or sharing videos or writing questions, my new people are just connecting with whoever they're connecting with based upon like what's like attracting them. Like, oh my gosh, I just saw this girl, she's a Ruby and she's like posting these amazing videos. I want her to follow that person because that's who's inspiring her. I don't want to force the inspiration, you know, because we could be inspired by different things. So then just because they naturally start hearing people talk about distributors automatically on their own, by the time they get their first 4 to 6 customers, they are asking, well, how do I get a distributor? But what's so cool is that it's kind of like with a baby, like how you like, what do they call it? Self-led weaning or something, when you like just put food in front of a kid, like a baby, and then you just let them grab like whatever they want to. It's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just teaching them how to get the customers. And what I'm realizing, this is where I was before. I was enrolling all of these people, but I was just feeling like they were too stupid to know how to build their business. Well, duh. That's my job, to teach them how, like, to educate them. Of course they're too stupid to work this business. They have no idea what they're doing. I didn't know what I was doing. And it was hard for me because I've always been like an 80-20 person, 80% of my time building my business, 20% with my team. But what if I take these people and I spend time with them and I help them? It is going to be such a great investment if I enroll 10 people this month and they all get their own customers this month, and they all get their own customers next month and the month after and the month after, rather than just being irritated and trying to do everything for them. So by the time they get their first 4 to 6 customers, then we start talking distributors. I give them a message to send out for distributors. They're posting about, you know, their life and stuff like that. And again, it starts with 1. I don't just throw them the Ruby chart and be like, here you go, 100 million people, let's do it. It's just 1. And then they'll get their second. I still don't need to teach them charting yet, because a Ruby needs 3 people on their top line. So by the time they get to their 3rd distributor, then I start talking charting. And then I also remembered what made me excited to enroll a distributor. So at this point, I'm thinking chart team, because that's where I'm at. When I got started, I wanted to enroll a distributor because it made me $100. Like I started this to put food on my table. And I really think that you're in that mind frame until you get to diamond or double diamond, because that's when you start to like really understand, like, holy crap, did I just help someone else make like $1,000? That's amazing. So really letting them understand that when they start talking about distributors, when you enroll somebody, you're going to make $100. And that really helps motivate them even more to like, I need to get $100. Like, that's amazing. So that's what we do. And then when they enroll their team, we do the same thing. Screenshot me your conversation with your new distributor, and I'm going to walk you through it. I don't do it in a group just because I think that through going, it's kind of like when you're in school and they make you like write things over and over and over again. And it's because the repetition will get in your head. I feel like just through seeing how I say things and answer questions, they just start to pick up on things. Like one of my new girls, she's amazing. She used to be a distributor like 2 years ago, and she built herself to Emerald. Her whole team fell apart. She started again, and she's just phenomenal. And she's like, I'm starting to talk like you and say things like you, you know, and it's not like she's being me. It's just, she's picking up the lingo and stuff just automatically. So that's what we're doing. And if I build somebody, this is different too. Why would I expect somebody who's brand spanking new, who's gotten one customers? Why would I just assume that they're a rock star and that they know how to train someone else? It just doesn't work like that. So the people who I've been placing, like, so if I have Jade and I place my grandma, or not my grandma, let's say my sister underneath Jade, I'm not introducing them. I'm just letting them be. And what I have is a group chat of all my new people. So they're just on their own. The commodity, you know, they're becoming friends, they're getting relationships, they're helping each other, they're excited for one another. And then once Jade gets her own first distributor and successfully helps that distributor get their own 4 loyal customers, then I introduce her to the distributor that I placed underneath her, because she has the brain capacity to be able to help her. But what's cool is when I send the message, I'm like, hey, you know, Jade, this is my sister, Ashley. You guys know each other. You guys are in the group chat. Guess what? Like, I'm going to pair you guys up because Jade's like amazing at this business. So we're just going to help you a little bit more. And there's no like this ownership feeling. Like there's this weird funky feeling when a distributor gets placed underneath you. It's like, and I'm not going to say it's this feeling of like, oh, they just expect me to build them, because you could build me all the way to ambassador and that's not going to make me feel good at the end of the day. Like, people don't quit because you build them. People who quit after you build them, they can quit so easily because there was no investment and value into their business because they didn't do it themselves. Right. Like, I don't care if I enrolled nobody and I've been doing this for a year. If someone told me to quit, I'd be like, are you freaking kidding me? I've worked way too hard to get to where I am right now to quit. And they don't have that sense of saying that because they didn't work very hard to get there. So I see people all the time. They'll be like, I built so-and-so to diamond, and they aren't even working. What is wrong with them? Why would they work? Number one, you built them because that was a business decision for yourself. They don't owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. That's number one. And number two, just because you built them doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Like, you have to understand that. So once they enroll their own first distributor and they can successfully coach that person through me teaching them, coach that person, then I'll kind of introduce them. So this is what I'm doing. And it's made things be like slower, but I'm glad that I went through, you know, a good 3 months of training like this to just become like a good leader. And then what happens is too, is because we're not focusing on go watch these videos, go watch these calls, go read this book, go do this, go do that. It's just, let's message customers and whatever. There's nothing else. We have more time. I have more time with them to really talk about feelings. I did a poll with my team, and I made a Google form, and it said, what do you want to learn? What do you need more help with? Posting, messaging, following up, leadership, or I honestly have no idea. I don't even believe in myself at this point, so I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And everybody, the two highest things were messaging and basically self-love. So if I can help someone message and help them love themselves and believe in themselves, which, you know, we have 12 years of school and not one class is about learning to love yourself. That's stupid. So that's what I'm going to help them with. And it's helping them be successful. So that's what I'm doing.
I love it. So everybody, I'm like looking back through here, they're all like, what message do you have them send? Like, can you give us a summary of it? Like kind of what you're
literally like, you know, hey, like, let's say it's your aunt, like, hey, Aunt Sue, I need a couple people to test out my products. I'm so excited. And I can give my distributor discount. You know, would you be interested? Just, I mean, really, like, it's
basic.
nothing special.
And then they're asking about like how you answer their questions. And I think, because I wrote down your script back whenever I watched your first LC Sealing the Deal video. You still do that, don't you? It's the same thing.
Yep.
So you guys, the scripts that I put in Black Diamond Team, the PDT script and the PLC script, guess who wrote them? It's Jade.
Well, and so many people say to me that, like, they'll comment on that video. The Sealing the Deal video has had over 100,000 views, which is so crazy. But they'll say, can you like write this out? No. Like, if you cannot take the time to watch this and take notes, you need to take the investment of time. There are many different investments that we're going to make into this business, and there's no shortcut to success. So even if she has a script, watch it, because the way that I explain it, taking the time to watch it and take the notes and like understand things, because I go through why I say this to give me this result. I mean, you have to understand that. You have to understand the science behind it before you can go and do it.
Good.
Yeah, this isn't really a question here, but I just feel like this would be a good thing to talk about right now. So when I look across all the leaders, Jade and It Works, I feel like you get it the most when it comes to attraction marketing and how to inspire a person to have hope, how to inspire a person to want something or want change or be willing to step out of their comfort zone to try something new. So will you talk about that a little bit? Just I know you talk about making someone feel something a lot. So can you kind of share some of that?
I kind of have chills. You just made me really realize something. Along the way in my business, the 3-3 rule, I made that up September of 2013. And then I started messaging people. And when I started building my business, messaging people, it was so taboo. You guys have no idea like how taboo that is. And I had people tell me that, well, I don't message because I do attraction marketing. And it was just kind of really cool. Like, actually, Doree and I were just talking about this before I got on here, of how people have been mean to me because of the way that I build my business, because they think that they don't need to message. But it's so cool that you just told me that I build my business using attraction marketing, because I really do. I mean, that was really cool. That was like a God moment for me. But anyways, okay, you have to understand, why did you join this business? We joined for money of some sort, but we didn't join for green paper. We joined for how that green paper makes us feel. I'm not rapping I don't care how many inches I am, I'm rapping to feel good about myself. So when people are buying these products, when people are joining this business, it's because of how the business is going to make them feel. What is it? What's the deal? What's the matter? Do you need to burp? Oh, got a tummy? Got a tummy? Is it? No. Oh, yeah. It's okay. I promise I'm not beating her.
It sounds worse than the thing. Okay.
Very light. Very, very light tapping. Okay, so. All right. I think this is what it comes down to, okay? How do I have someone join this business if I haven't done anything of significance? But you have to understand, in today's society, it's so stupid. We have so many things available to us, technology, whatever, but we still live in the, like, how can I make myself more broke so I can get Medicaid? How can I make myself more broke so I can just get my government housing, so I get my housing paid for me? That's the kind of, but like, we have this mind frame that's so small. And then we're walking around with an iPhone that's so smart, that doesn't make any sense. We have all of these things, okay? So we have to think outside of the box. You have to realize that just the fact that you press submit is inspiring enough to change 100 lives. Because there are so many people out there who cannot think like that for themselves. People don't join this business for the money. They join it for how it makes them feel. And you don't have to make $1 in order to have someone join you, because it's about a movement. Martin Luther King used to talk about equality. He would talk about all these dreams that he had. They were just visions. They were not true. I mean, they're barely true today. But yet people followed him and they listened to him for what he said because they wanted to be and have that. They had that vision. They wanted that. You know, when Mark used to talk, I mean, I'm sure he talked about us being $1 billion company when we were like, you know, in like a basement room. You know, he's like, we're going to be $1 billion company. And people followed him because they were like, I want that. So when we're making our posts, you just have to have people say, I want that. Even if it's right now, you know, you could be getting in your car and your car doesn't start and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to be successful in this business? I can't, my car, you know, what am I supposed to post about? My car's not even starting. Do you think you're the only person who's gotten in their car and it hasn't started? You're silly to think that. You think you're the first single mother in this company? Do you think that you're the first person who's dealt with losing their husband in this company? Do you think you're the first person who has dealt with, you know, a child passing away, going through cancer, losing a pet, being in a house fire? You're not. But the fact that someone else out there has been able to get through that, that's what's inspiring. It's getting through it. So you have to just, I know we feel really alone. You know, we feel very alone. What's your deal, baby? What's your deal? I know that we feel really alone and secluded before we get in. It works. But you need to use the fact that someone else has, you have to realize that other people have been through what you've been through and that it's inspiring. So just share. I just got in my car today. You got the toots? You got to poop? What's going on? That I got in my car today and it didn't start. It didn't start. And that is why I'm in this business, because I'm not living this life anymore and I'm not okay with that. Just saying that right there. Just all of a sudden turn the switch for like a whole bunch of other people who also are getting in their cars and they're not starting. And they're like, crap, there's more to life than this. What? You know, I'm sure they thought this.
Even something like I'm dropping my kids off at daycare and I'm sick of not being the one that's them every single
Talk about the things you're sick and tired about. Talk about getting angry, you know? There's like some story. It's like everybody acts like everything's like super fine and dandy until one person thinks like this isn't okay. And then someone else is like, yeah, it's not okay. This isn't okay. And then all of a sudden everybody else it's like the flu. You know, one person gets it and it spreads. But it's the opposite. This is like the flu of hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. So let's say there's someone on this Zoom right now and they're a Ruby and they want to be diamond so let's just say when you were a Ruby, you're a Ruby and you just said, I'm going diamond. I'm going to go diamond. What'd your day look like?
Well, what you have to understand is that everything with this type of residual income, okay, is an investment for the future. So what you do today is not going to pay you until 3 months from now. So that's number one. Get over the fact it's not going to happen tomorrow. Okay. Like just accept that and then move forward. It's just accept it, go. Awesome. One obstacle overcome. Again, I'm going to say it again. What you do right now is going to pay you in at least at the earliest 3 months from now. So what's realistic? I mean, 3 months from now, absolutely. But you have to just dive in. There is no such thing as one toe in. And did anybody watch my video that I posted this morning? Anybody? It's on my Facebook. I got a little angry. I mean, it literally says you need to get angry, but I was using the analogy of a pot of boiling water. Okay. You want your water to boil. So you put your pot of water on the stove and you crank it on high and you just sit there watching it and literally nothing is happening. And you're like, awesome. My water's on high. Nothing's happening. I'm just going to keep it on high. I'm going to keep going. Nothing's happening. And then 3 minutes later, then you kind of start to see bubbles and you're like, my water's on high. I'm working hard. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. Why is nothing happening? All I have are these little bubbles. Why is nothing happening? And it takes maybe 5 minutes for the water to kind of start to move and then it kind of starts to boil. If you don't have your heat turned on high, like so many people think I'm going to give just a little bit. So then that way, like if it doesn't end up working out for me, then what I'm losing, the investment that I gave, whether it was time or money, isn't as bad, then I don't feel as bad. Okay. But I'm sorry, but unless like doing that is not going to make this stuff happen sooner. If you want to get to diamond, no one gets to diamond by accident. Can I just tell you that? I know that some people are like, I'm just not going to quit. I'm just not going to quit. And then someday I'll be diamond. You're never going to be diamond. You can just keep renewing your e-suite or your distributorship every single year, that's not going to make you diamond. You have to just go. You have to turn your water on high or your heat on high, and you're going to wait for that water to boil. And the sooner that you turn it on high and you just go, the sooner you're going to get to diamond, but it's still going to take some time. You know, one of my girls enrolled almost 100 customers in 1 month. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's amazing. But you know what she did to do that? She was talking to thousands of people. You know what I mean? She turned her water on high, and it happened like even like higher than high. She broke the switch, you know? So how hard do you have to work to make $2,000 a month just at your regular job? I mean, at least work that hard. So my day is just working. I canceled my cable so I could go diamond, so I could go ambassador. I canceled it. I took out distractions. I didn't worry about anybody else. I didn't worry about how fast anybody else was going. What is it? What's going on? I just went. I just posted, I messaged, and I followed up. That's all I did every single day, all day long. The more people you talk to, the more people you're going to enroll. It's kind of common sense. So I just went crazy. You know, I just went crazy, and I just went. And, you know, and life is always going to be changing. There's always going to be a tire's going to pop, your basement's going to flood, someone's going to pass away, kids are going to get sick. You can't sit here and say, oh, I can't do it today because so-and-so's sick. I can't do it today because this happened. I mean, life's just going to throw you obstacles constantly. You just have to get around it. And every single time you get around it, it's just going to make you more skilled. So, I mean, you know, I didn't have internet. Like my internet, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, which I still do, but it like never worked. So I went to McDonald's. And worked enough that the manager started bringing me Frappuccinos for free because I was there that much consistently all the time. You know, I don't really talk about that, but I probably should. I mean, I drove 15 minutes to McDonald's to be able to work. What are you willing to give up? It's all investments. Trust me. I got probably less sleep working this business than I did when I had a newborn baby. But like, I make so much money now that I have to put an income disclaimer on my posts because it's so much money. It's worth it. Trust me, the investment is worth it.
That's so freaking awesome. I love that we talk. Well, actually, I just had a conversation with Stephanie Dunn, and like the way that they train, they're just like, sign up a distributor and teach them how to get 2 customers. Sign up a distributor and teach them how to get 2 customers. Like that's the way that they train. And that's basically what you're doing on a little bit more in-depth scale because you're signing up a distributor and you're teaching them how to get 4 to 6 customers.
Well, they're just, once they get 4, they're automatically just able to get 6.
Yeah.
And it's just by the time they get 6, they're asking me about, well, how do I get a distributor?
I love that.
So
I love it. I think that that's a game changer. I think so many of us, myself included, we sign up a distributor and then it's like, okay, who do you know? Like we need to start talking to all the people. Who do you think would be great in this business? Instead of allowing them to start like we did, like just being excited about the products.
There's stepping stones. You can't force the stepping stones. I mean, that's why someone who works on their, like, who actually works and enrolls their own distributors to get to diamond ends up working out rather than someone who's built, because there's just milestones that you have to go through. You have to go through the spouse not being supportive. You have to go through the family not being supportive. You have to go to the first person who, did you just call me fat? You have to go through the customer who wants to quit early. You have to go through the distributor who's like, you're only thinking about yourself. You're just trying to make money off me, thinking you're better than everybody. You have to go through those things. They're just milestones. Everybody goes through it. And because you go through those milestones, that's why you are like, that's why when you get to diamond, you're ready for the next step. There's always going to be milestones. And then you go to ambassador and then you act like you don't even know how to blink. You're like, I don't know how to function. I'm an ambassador. I don't even know how to wipe my butt. Like it's just a milestone. It's a part of the process.
Well, that kind of leads into this next question. I think will be good. So for you personally in your journey so far, Jade, what were some of your biggest trials, some of the biggest things that you had to go through, and how did you overcome them?
Oh my gosh. I mean, All of the above. Everything, from the moment I started, it was, I couldn't afford Blitz cards. Now don't do this, 'cause we can't do this. But I like made my own and printed them out until I had no ink, and then I had no ink. So then I was hand drawing things, and then my husband being such a butthole all the time, and he still does it sometimes, and I mean, my family being like, oh, my grandma, oh, we've been there, Amway, 45 years ago. Just wait till the pyramid falls, right? I'm like, right. My whole hometown hates what I do so much. They made shirts that says it doesn't work. Like, people invested their time and money to make shirts. Like, go, like you're still living in your parents' basement, and I'm on my second house. I'm fine all day with what I'm doing. Like, I don't care about what you're okay. I mean, I don't know. You have to grow. Like, you just have to grow to person. I sucked so bad. You don't realize how horrible your attitude is. For me, with my life, I'm so used to anytime something great happens, something comes along and takes it away. Someone could give me a little Christmas tree plant, and then next thing you know, my dog would eat it. Like, that's how my life is. I go get my belly button pierced. 2 days later, it's infected, and I have to take it out. I mean, literally, like, anything. And I was expecting that. And I realized the strength of how much of what, like, how powerful what you say, like, it's just going to happen. So, I think the biggest, there's been 2 times where I've had really bad times, like, and it's always been mental. Once when I went double diamond, the other time after I went ambassador. When I went, and they were actually the same things. When I went double diamond, just my check alone was more than a triple diamond check. I was making more money in 1 month than, like, almost as much as I was making in a year as a hairstylist. We just had purchased our first home, and I used to lay on my couch looking up at my ceiling at these beautiful vaulted ceilings that had wood, and I would just cry. And I felt unworthy, and I felt guilty, and I felt, how could I ask for more? Like, oh my gosh, how could I, that's so greedy, because we're always taught to settle. We're like, oh, at least you have a boyfriend. It's okay that he beats you. At least he pays for your bills. Like, we're just taught, like, to just be okay with you should be thankful for what you have. Yeah, I can be thankful for what I have, but why the heck can't I have more? Like, are you joking? Why can't I have more? And so accepting that there's still more. It's very hard to accept that. And so when I went double diamond, it was the same thing. It took me from March until October to get over that and realize that I was ready for more. When I went ambassador, I accomplished some huge things, once I got to ambassador. Like, on my dream board, it was own my own home, be in top 10, make, like, X amount of dollars. And I had done all of these things. And then it was like, what am I supposed to do now? Do people make, like, I know there's people making more than this, but, like, how do I do it? I don't understand. How could I want more? I've started to judge myself, and all of a sudden care about what other people thought of me. And I just didn't, I don't know. I stopped doing personal development because I felt so wound up, super, super tight. I don't know how to explain it or why, but I just felt so wound up, so tight that I couldn't soak up anymore. And I really feel like, for me personally, last year was just God yanking my string and just unwinding me. And I needed it so much. And I didn't get unwound all the way. I just got unwound enough, just the right amount. And it's so funny that, but, like, oh yeah, my paycheck went down last year. Totally. Cause I mean, like, I did not work at all like I was before at all. But what's so amazing is that if my paycheck for some reason, my paycheck going down has now made me accept that my paycheck can go up even higher than what it was before. It's just a very bizarre thing. But we always just have to stop worrying about everybody else and trust what we have going on in our brains and trust the things that we want, and always pray and keep asking, because I realized that too. I became a really bad asker. Like, I didn't ask God for anything. I was seeing all these people, all my friends in the ambassadors page, they would tell me about these amazing moments that were just totally God, you know, that they were praying and these amazing things would happen. Someone would come up to them and just say this stuff. And I was like, gosh, I'm so awesome. But like, I want that to happen. Why isn't that happening to me? And I realized it was because I just wasn't asking for it. When was the last time I prayed and said like, talk to me? When was the last time I asked something and then was silent? I didn't do it for a long time. So I started doing that. And, I do it a lot. I do it every day. I do it all day long. I ask and wait for answers. And I mean, it's strong enough to now where to like, I hear the ideas in my brain and it's just amazing. And I don't know, you're always going to go through different obstacles. I mean, I know that this isn't the last one for me, you know, and this one was super hard. I doubted myself. I used to envy who I was. And I felt like I climbed up this huge mountain, reached this thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, God pushed me off the mountain I just climbed. But what I realized was that I climbed up a mountain and now I have a new one in front of me, a new mountain. I didn't go backwards. I'm still going forwards. And now I have this new mountain, and the view is beautiful where I am now. I can't even imagine what's going to happen once I reach, you know, go to the top of the new mountain. So I think we just always have to be really aware of that.
I love that analogy that it's a new mountain, because we get in that valley where it sucks so bad and it feels like we have so much coming against us. People are dropping rank, whatever, but it's just this new thing. And at the end of the day, it's really just God wanting to work some things out in us. Like, I want to work things out in you so that I can take you to the next level at the top of this mountain.
People were like, really though? I mean, you know, last year there were people who are not a part of It Works today. And everybody was so worried about it. Are you freaking kidding me? I can tell you that a good handful of those people, when they left, I was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, this is not who I want a part of my company. Thank you. You know, like, these are not the people that are going to take us to the next level. They're not making me feel better about myself when I'm looking at them or, you know, whatever. And they're showing their like ugly true colors now that they're gone. Don't be afraid of anybody leaving you. If you have a whole diamond team and every single last person's gone, say thank you, okay? Because they were not supposed to be there. You have no idea what you just, God did you a favor on that one. You have no idea what you just avoided with some of those goofballs. So don't even worry about that. I am not, like, anybody who left my team, I was like, later. Thank you. You know, like, I wasn't.
When you look at you know, leaders, like great leaders, whether in It Works or not in It Works, and maybe these characteristics or these traits, this person that you're aspiring to be, right, through personal development, what does that look like to you? You know, what does a real true leader look like to you? How do they act? How do they carry themselves? And just kind of describe yourself or someone else that maybe that you know who's just an amazing leader.
I think that an amazing leader allows themselves to think outside of the box, no matter what anybody else is going to say. And that's, and some people call that confidence, but confidence isn't real. Confidence is just doing things that are super scary and just doing it anyways. You have to understand that's what real confidence is. There's no such thing as just confidence. They just do anything. Yeah, we're all scared all the time. Like, we just do it anyways. So I think that finding a leader thinks to themselves, like, I'm willing to go, like, I want to go through the muck and the yuck. Like, bring it on harder. I want things to be hard, because the harder things are, the more skilled you're going to be in the end. You ask for that. Ask for it to be hard. Someone who allows themselves to make mistakes. Don't fear the mistakes. Just give yourself some grace. Like, we're all human, but a leader makes mistakes and gets back up and says, I'm not going to do that again. Like, now I know I'm not going to do that again. Someone who is kind and you're always understanding you have to be kind. Like, no, you're not a leader if you're rude and if you belittle people. And, you know, we want to pull people up. We want to create a movement. We want to inspire. A leader understands that every single thing in their life has had nothing to do with them and everything with everybody else. You know, a leader is willing to just learn as much as you can. I just want, like, at the end of the day, I think to myself, okay, like if I had my team full of a whole bunch of me, like how successful would I be? You know, and I kind of had this, like, this might be really stupid, but we always hear the saying, like, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I was like, oh, I'm like attracting my friends. But no, your vibe is actually, your vibe attracting your tribe is like who you're actually attracting into your business. Mm-hmm. So if you just enrolled a whole bunch of duds, it's because you're the biggest dud. And that is literally who you're attracting. If you are extremely self-conscious, you are going to enroll a bunch of self-conscious people. If you are like, I'm in a really bad place leadership wise, I'm still going to enroll people, but like, I'm not even there, like in my brain to train them. They're like, that means that you're setting themselves up to just not be good. That's the kind of people who you're going to enroll. But when you're 10 and you're on fire, those are the people who you're going to enroll. So I think you just, I don't know, you have to, a leader has to be creative and willing to make mistakes and willing to be the first person to dive in and hit their head and say, don't dive here. You're going to hit your head. A little scary. You have to be willing to do that. Like, are you willing to be brave for other people? You know, because it's so much, I mean, oh my gosh, this business is so, I mean, you're really paving the way. You're paving the way for other people. And it's not just other people, it's your kids too, you know? So, I don't know. I guess that would be my definition.
That is awesome. I'm writing all that down. All over this page right here.
Do you have one more question? Because we've taken almost an hour.
Yeah, sure. I could go all day.
I talk all me.
One question. I think this is a really valuable question. You know, when you go to your E-suite and you look in the back office, there's like all this stuff, right? There's all these reports. There's all these documents. There's a gazillion things. So when you go in your back office, what few things are the most valuable that you feel like actually affect your paycheck, or, you know, things that you maybe do in your back office every day?
Tree viewer. Okay, I'll be real with you. I didn't even know how I was getting paid until after I went presidential. And I showed my paycheck to Samantha Keeneland because I was like, I don't she's like, well, how much are your cabs? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, well, send me your paycheck and let me see it. And she was like, Jade, your cabs are like $25,000. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just enrolling and I'm making videos and showing how everybody else to enroll. And it's just happening. I had no idea. So, and then I went ambassador, and I remember after I went ambassador, the first question I asked in the ambassador chat was about something. And then Quentin Conway was like, the report that's literally named whatever you're just asking. And I was like, sorry, I don't just, whatever. Like, I don't pay attention to these things. So I spend less time being paper busy than, you know, whatever. I just go with the flow. So, but the things that today that I use, hardcore tree viewer. I don't use anything else to check my customers, to chart, to anything else. I just use tree viewer. I use my leadership qualification report by period to email the people for cabs to make sure that they're fast starting people that I'm cab to. On the first of every month, I'm using the first time rank achieved to send out emails to the people who just promoted last month on my team. I don't know. That's basically it. I don't know. Not much else. I'm trying to think. That's it. That's all I use. I don't try to overcomplicate things. I don't understand half the stuff. I mean, I'm surprised I know how to export a report to Excel, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that's it.
Well, that's really all the questions. So if you could just take 2-3 minutes and just close up, Jay, anything you feel like sharing, or just let everybody on. I mean, obviously everybody on here has their own hopes, their own dreams. And just kind of maybe your perspective of where the company's going and what's possible for these people to do on here.
Oh man. I mean, I think like Mark is such a good testament of, he's pretty much proved himself at this point, after what is it, like 16 years, that like whatever he says he wants to do, he is like going to do it. It just kind of push comes to shove no matter what. And that's the kind of person you want to be behind. Like you want to be on the plane of someone who knows how to fly, and he knows how to fly. I mean, so you can trust what they're doing. You have to follow them and what they're teaching us to do. I think that there's not going to be a point in your business where you're going to feel like you're enough. You're always going to feel like you're not enough, that you're not doing enough, that you're not saying enough, that you're not working enough, that you're not personal developing enough, that you're not being a parent enough. You're never going to feel like you are enough. But that is good. And it's the people who, instead of like not feeling like enough and then just going and hiding because of it and feeling bad about it, it's the people who like keep trying to be enough. Those are the people who succeed. I mean, that's one of the blessings of being a red, is that I'm constantly like, I could enroll 15 distributors yesterday, and today I'm not. If I didn't do it today, it's not enough. So always always think that you're not doing enough. Always strive for more. Always go for bigger. We really can't. It's kind of like, it's like stupid scary, like the things that we can have in life. But like, unless Beyonce is walking around with like a different oxygen tank than the air that I'm breathing, why can she have this amazing life and I can't? You can, as long as you can like dream it up, and it's possible. If you have this idea, it's possible. So I don't know. You guys, all I can tell you, all that I'm doing right now is I'm praying so hard. I spend so much time praying, so much time, but then I'm also silent and I listen and I obey a lot. Like, don't sit here and ask for something, and then when it comes to you and you don't listen, like, God is not a puppet master. He gave us the gift of free will. We make our own choices, and all day long, every day, he's like, you asked me for fruit. Go here. I'm giving you this option. Go left. It's right there. And then you don't. You're just doing your own thing because for whatever dumb reason, like, life is not going to come down and smack you in the face. You have to seek it out. So just do it. Just be excited. Go. Just don't do 1 foot in. Just go full force. Nothing amazing is going to happen to anybody who half-asses it. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to do it with your whole ass. You got to do the whole butt, whole thing. Yeah. You really just have to push and go hard. And you're going to have moments where you're freaking out. You're going to have moments where you're second guessing if you can do this. And you have to understand that that's just another milestone. You're right before a breakthrough. This year is going to be very different. Normally, we see this big crazy boom, and then things just kind of like steady off, and then they go up a little bit, and then they kind of steady off and go down a little bit. This year's not going to be like that. It's going to just be this like really just nice and steady growth that right now you might be thinking it's not fast enough. By the time December comes, we're going to be have so much more than what we have now. But what you do right now, if you understand the statistics of it and the mathematics of it, is that what you do right now is going to pay you in the next 3 to 6 months. Well, 6 months from where we are right now is the end of the year, which launches us right into the new year. So you have to understand that what you're doing right now isn't just for right now. It's also for what's going to happen in the boom of next year as well. And we're going to be popping black diamonds like we popped ambassador diamonds in 2015 when I went ambassador. We had like 30 ambassador diamonds in 1 month. We doubled our ambassador diamonds in 1 month. We're going to do that with black diamonds. But like, are you going to be there? You can listen to my words all day long, but at the end of the day, is if you put your head on your pillow and you can close your eyes knowing that you worked as hard as you could today, like you really did, and you don't feel guilty, you'll wake up tomorrow and you'll do what you need to do, and you'll do it every single day. And just, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm ready. Like, I don't have anything to say because I'm just ready for so much more. You will never see me leaving to sell, food trays and drinks and lunchables and stuff like that. I won't ever leave to sell that because I know that this is the right company. Like we're oh man. It's gonna be good.
Thank you so much, Jade, for doing this. I really, really appreciate you. You mean a lot to me, girl.
You mean a lot to me too. I'll never forget, you guys, when Jury called me and I was like, it said Chad Kneller. I was like, why is Chad Kneller calling me? And I watched Jury so much when I first got started in my business. So much. Videos all the time. And when she called me and she was crying and I was like, I don't even know what you're saying because you're crying, but like I'm crying too. And she said that I impacted her business and it was amazing. It was just amazing to know that, I was really able to help someone else and just, I don't know. I'm just really excited. I don't have anything to, oh wait, what did someone say? I've just pulled up the chat.
They're saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I scrolled up. Oh, cold messaging. Yes, you guys message.
Yes.
If someone tells you that it's okay to walk up to someone at Target and hand them a Blitz card while they're shopping, it's okay to message somebody. No different. Okay. All right.
Love you, girl. Thank you so
Bye.
much. We'll see you. Thanks, guys, for coming on. We'll see you later.